Yo, 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 this is Mr. O. Yo, 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 this is Mr. O. And today we're going to learn about evaluating exponential and radical form. Square root of 8. When the index here is 2, and then when we break the 8 to its factor, prime factorization, applying a prime factorization here, we get 4 and 2, and then the 4 can be broken into 2 and 2's. That gave us a square root of 2, 2, 2. Since the index here is 2, we have to group them into 2's. Like means say the number of 2's in a group should be 2, and that will step out. That becomes 2 square root of 2. Okay. Or if I have a variable, let's say a fourth root of x to the 7. Since the index here is 4, there should be 4 items in a group. So since we know that x to the 7, there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. There are 7 x's there. And in a group, there should be 4 because the index is 4. So this is 4 there. That will cross out, but there will be an x stepping out, and there will be a fourth root of x to the third power because there are 3 x's left. Okay. And this is how we're going to simplify and evaluate our exponential or radical form, exponential or radical expressions. Okay. So let's go ahead now. Simplify square root of 392. Remember that the index there is 2. Okay. So 392 divided by 2 will give us 196. So I'm going to do prime factorization here. 392, 2 and 196. 196, if I divide by 2, it will give me a 2 and 98. If I divide 98 by 2, I'll get 2 and 49. And I can break down the 49 to 7 and 7. Okay, again, we will write all our prime numbers here because 77222 are already prime numbers. There's nothing more you can do about it. So 1, 2, 3, 2's, 7, 7. And again, what is our index here? The index here is 2. So a pair of 2 cross out. So the 2 will step out. A pair of 7 cross out. So times 7 square root of 2. So the answer now is 2 times 7 is 14. The answer is 14 square root of 2. Kaboom. Okay. Next, 72. Square of 72. We can break down the 72 into 36 and 2. 36 can be broken into 6 and 6. There you go. I have already a pair of 662 there. That's not 662, okay? There's a pair of 6 there. So a pair of 6, so that will cross out, 6 will go out, and the 2 will remain inside. Again, take note that the index here is 2. That's why I'm doing it by pair, okay? It doesn't work all the time, okay? Let's look at number, the next one here in the lower left is cube root, okay? So that means there should be 3 things in a group. Okay, first thing you have to understand here is that you have a negative. Negative 1 times negative 1 times negative 1 will always get 3 of the negatives there. Okay, so basically I'm just breaking here the 750 on its own. Okay, 750 can be broken to 75 and 10. 75 can be broken to 3 and 25, and 25 is 5 and 5, while 10 can be broken to 5 and 2. If you notice here, I'm gonna have a group of 5 here. And remember, if you notice here, I have 3 5's. 1, 2, 3, because the index there is 3. So to make the story short here, I'm going to have now cube root of negative 1 times negative 1 times negative 1, 3, 5, 5, 5, and a 2. Again, I need them to be in 3 terms because that is cube. So that will cross out. A negative 1 will step out. A 5 will step out. and then cube root of what is left. What's left there here is 3 and 2, so it will be 6 there. So the answer now is negative 5 cube root of 6. Okay, next, 192. 192 can be broken down into, so 192 divided by 2 is 2 and 96. 96 can be broken down into 2 and 48. 48 can be broken into 2 and 24, 2 and 12, 2 and 6, and 2 and 3, right? So star is kind of small there, you know. Remember that the index here is 6. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and a 3. And how many should be in a group? There should be 6 in a group. So this all to here will be crossed out and will step out, and you're gonna have 6 root of 3. And that's the answer. Kaboom. Next, fifth root of 128. You will do the same thing again. 128. Break it down. 128 divided by 2 will give us 64. 64 can be broken down to 8 and 8. 8 can be broken down to 4 and 2. 4 and 2. And the 4 can be broken down to 2 and 2s. 2 and 2s. So how many 2s do we have here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So there should be 7 2s on a fifth root. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, this is a group of twos. In there are 5 of them because the index is 5. That will cross out and it will step out. Fifth root of 2 times 2 is going to be 4, and that's the answer. Okay. One more time, 128. It's going to be the same thing. There will be 128 there, 128 here. So there will be 7 of that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And that's a group of 4. So 2 will step out. Fourth root of 2 times 2 times 2 is going to be 8. And that's the answer. And that's how you simplify or evaluate in a radical form. But this time, if it's exponential form. If you are in exponential form, you just have to convert it back to radical form. So remember the 3 there, the exponent of the 64, which is the base, this is the power, and this is the index. Okay? So technically, the problem there is 64 square root, because that's the index, and to the third power. My suggestion is always put the power last. That's the last thing you're gonna do, okay? If possible. So square root of 64, that's going to be 8 and 8. That's already a pair of 8. So the answer there is just 8. 8 to the third power. You're gonna multiply 8 3 times. 8 times 8 times 8. That will give us 512. Okay. Next, 32 raised to 6 over 5. Again, this is your power and that's your index. So that is same thing as fifth root of 32 to the 6th power. Break down the 32. I have 16 and 2. 16 is 8 and 2. 8 is 4 and 2. And 4 is 2 and 2. So therefore, fifth root of 32 is how many 2's there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And don't forget, you still have the sixth root outside. Since that's a one group of 2 in the 5 of those. So that makes it a 2 only to the 6th power. The answer is, what's 2 to the 6? That's multiplying 2 6 times, and the answer there is going to be 64. Simplify 16 to the 1/4. Again, this is your power, and that's your index. That means there's fourth root of 16 with the power of 1, so it could be invisible. So break down the 16 to 4 and 4. This is 2 and 2, 2 and 2. So the fourth root of 16 is 4 2's, and you have to group them by the number of index, which is 4 here. So the answer is just 2 to the 1. 2 to the 1 is just 2. 18 and 3 halves is that, so that is going to be square root of 81 to the third power there. And again, we're going to break down the 81 to 9 and 9. And since the index is 2, so you go by pair, 9. 9 to the third power, you're going to multiply 9 times 9, and that's going to be 729. Very simple, right?